Good evening, my name's Arne Jamtgaard, and I want to talk to you tonight about the Hollywood formula. I'm one of those NaNoWriMo types you're going to learn about from Jules' talk, so I'm always on the lookout for ways to tell good stories. So what is the Hollywood formula? Simply put, the Hollywood formula is a collection of elements and structures designed to maximize the emotional impact of a story. We're going to start by looking at the three big elements in a story. First, you're going to have your protagonist, the hero or heroine, and the hero has to want something. That's what drives the story. And it has to be something concrete. Lightning McQueen doesn't just want to win, he wants to win the Piston Cup. Second, you've got your antagonist, and he wants something too. In Casablanca, Victor Laszlo wants Ilsa. This is going to bring him into conflict with Rick, who also wants Ilsa. As you can see, somebody's going home alone. Third, you have a dynamic character. And the dynamic character can be a mentor or a buddy. I'll let you figure out which is which. And his job is to articulate the theme of the story, some point in the story. So now you've got the elements, let's look at some structures. In Act 1, we're going to have introductions. This is where you get to know the hero, what he wants. You get to find out what the antagonist wants. And you get at least to know what's going to be going on with them. About halfway through the introductions, you get the fateful decision. Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? If you take the wrong pill, you don't get a story. If Elizabeth Bennet marries Mr. Collins, you don't get Pride and Prejudice. So after the fateful decision, we come to Act 2, complications. This is where what the hero wants and what the antagonist wants bring them into conflict with each other. And there's a lot of bouncing back and forth. And this is where a lot of the buildup of the tension between the two happens. So by now you're coming to the 50% point of your story. The first half you need to be raising questions in the minds of your audience. The second half you need to start answering those questions. If you have a whodunit at the beginning, you need to tell us whodunit at the end. At the end of the Act 2, you get what's called the low point. This is when our hero is as far from his goal as possible. He and the buddy have split up over philosophical reasons. Whoa, that one went fast. Okay, so now we're on to Act 3, the last battle. And before I go in and explain what the last battle is, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the fun you can have with the formula. Because this is not a rigid formula, it's like a recipe. You can substitute. Okay, in The Matrix, Neo got 3 fateful decisions. You can also mess with the structure of a story. Act 1 and Act 2, put them in 15 minutes. The rest is the last battle. You get Die Hard. Okay, you can also play with the roles. Ripley's our protagonist in Aliens. She wants to kill the aliens. Burke wants to preserve the aliens, but he dies about halfway through, so you have to turn the job over to the alien queen, who also wants to preserve the aliens. You can do the same thing with the dynamic character. In Star Wars, Obi-Wan's the mentor, kind of helping Luke along, but then he dies. And so Han Solo takes over the role of the buddy. So you can play with the formula a lot like that. But now let's get back to the last battle. 3 things have to happen in the last battle, and they have to happen close together. First, the hero has to either win or give up. Either Rocky wins the fight, or Rick says, we'll always have Paris, and says goodbye to Elsa. Okay, in the last battle, you also have to have the antagonist get defeated. So here we have Dorothy melting the Wicked Witch of the West. Third, there has to be a reconciliation between the protagonist and the dynamic character. In the end of The Shawshank Redemption, we get to see Andy and Red meet again on the beach, and we all kind of have that awe moment. And the key to the Hollywood formula is these 3 things, the closer you can get them to happen at the end of your story, the bigger the emotional impact. Let me give you an example. 3, 2, 1. Luke Skywalker is firing down the trench, uses the Force, and becomes Deadeye like his father. He gets what he wants. Han Solo comes screaming back and reconciles with Luke and knocks Darth Vader out of the trench so that Luke can achieve what he wants. All that in 15 seconds. If you remember the end of the Star Wars, the first time you saw it, that's what we're talking about. I'd like to thank Writing Excuses, the podcast that had Lou Anders, who articulated the Hollywood formula so that I could tell it to you tonight. I hope you enjoy the Hollywood formula.